Welcome to video 18. As the last thing that we need to do in order to show our product details page, let's set up HTML and CSS. I'm going to start with the HTML, and in this case I'm going to open up public home, and I'm going to copy the contents of this file. And then I'm going to open up public product, and I'm going to paste that in. And within this section I'm going to delete everything. I'm going to keep this last get data because we'll be reusing this, but I'm going to delete everything else within the div ID of content, and then I'm going to start adding in the content that's actually going to display. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do image src equals, and here I'm going to copy this get data because we're going to be using this line a couple times in this file. So we're going to use get data, and we're going to get prod image, so that'll get the product image for us. And for the alt tag on this, I'm going to use the prod name, like so. And then for a class, I'm going to set it to product_image. Then after image, I want to show h2 and the product name. Close off the h2. Then I'm going to add a div with a class of price, and here we're going to use prod price. And then finally a div with a class of description, with prod description. And lastly, div. Actually, excuse me, no div in this case. We're just going to have a link, href equals, and we're going to do cart !add equals, and we're going to get the product ID. So get data prod ID. I'm going to give it a class of button. That'll add our button styling, and then add to cart, like so. So I'm going to save this file. Let's take a peek at the front end to see what happens when we load this page. And you'll notice we have content showing up. We have our navigation showing up properly. We have all the content in place. Now it's just a matter of styling it. So I'm going to open up my style.css, which is within resources CSS. And we have homepage specific styles. So after that, I'm going to add some product page styles. And since we can use product, because that's the body, that's the class that's associated with the body tag on that page, we can use product. And I'm going to do content product image. And I'm going to float that image left. Give it a margin, 0 top, 40 pixels on the right, 40 pixels on the bottom, and 0 on the left. And I'll give it a 1 pixel solid border of CCC, so light gray. Then I'm going to follow that up, just making sure I'm doing my styling correctly. I'm going to follow that up with product content h2. Set the font size to 22 pixels. I'll set a margin 10 pixels on the top, 0 on the right, 2 pixels on the bottom, 0 on the left. Then let's style the price. Product content price. And this one I'm going to set the font weight, weight to bold. I'm going to give it a margin on the bottom of, 20 pixels. I'm going to set it to the green color, and font size at 16 pixels. And then as the last thing, we want to style our description. So product, content description, and we'll have a margin bottom of 20 pixels and a font size of 14 pixels. Now obviously, if you're following along with this, you could easily change these styles to something else, whatever you think looks good. These are just some style defaults that I put in place based on the overall styling of the store. So you'll notice if I refresh the page, we have a much nicer styled interface. We have an image on the left, we have a large title, a smaller price, a spot for the description, and then the add to cart button.